Hey boys and girls, it's been a while since I've made a video, but our homework for the rest of this week and next week will require you to watch a video every day and complete the part of the packet that I sent home with you that we talk about in the video. So for today and tomorrow, we're going to be talking about units of time. And the essential question for this lesson for today and tomorrow is, how can you use models to compare units of time? And so what we have pictured here is an analog clock, okay? The analog clock has an hour hand, which is always going to be the shorter hand, a minute hand, which is the long hand, and then there's also a second hand, which we use, which is the little red line right here that measures the seconds, okay? And so those are all the hands that we use to measure time. So on this clock, the hour would be 4 o'clock. The 30 minutes have passed because the minute hand is on the 6, which would mean 30 minutes have gone by. And the second hand, or right here, is at 12. Okay, so we would read this as 4:30 and 12 seconds. Or we could say it's 30 minutes and 12 seconds after 4 o'clock. So so we have 3 different clocks right here. On our very first, what we need to know is that there's 60 seconds in a minute. There's also 60 minutes in an hour. And the clocks below show the length of a second, a minute, and an hour. So our starting time would be 3 o'clock in this picture right here, because the hour hand, the minute hand, and the second hand are all lined up perfectly. So the hour hand points to the 3, the minute hand and the second hand point to the 12, so it's exactly 3 o'clock in this picture. And in this picture, you can see that the second hand, the little red line, has gone past the 12 one time. So 1 second has elapsed here. So now the time would still be 3 o'clock, but it would be 3 o'clock and 1 second. In this clock, you can see that now a minute has passed, or we could say that's the same thing as 60 seconds has elapsed. So the second hand has now, the red hand, which is the second hand, has made a full turn around to make 1 minute of elapsed time. So in this clock, the time is now 3:01. In this clock, it looks like a full hour has gone by, because now the hour hand, which was on the 3, is now on the 4, and the minute hand and the second hand are both on the 12. So in this clock, 1 hour or 60 minutes elapses. The minute hand has made a full turn clockwise. The time is now 4 o'clock. Okay. So in our first example, we want to talk about how does the size of an hour compare to the size of a second. So there are 60 minutes in an hour. There are 60 seconds in a minute. So guys, if we have 60 minutes and there's 60 seconds in every single minute, that would equal a total of 3,600 seconds, because 6 times 6 is 36, and we add our 2 zeros. So in 60 minutes, there are 3,600 seconds. Okay, so we had to multiply the number of seconds that are in 1 minute by 60 because of us having 60 minutes. So we could say there are 3,600 seconds in an hour, because remember, 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. So 1 hour is 3,600 times as long as 1 second, because it takes 3,600 seconds to make a minute, to make 60 minutes, and we know that there's 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so now let's flip a page over and let's look at the second example. In the second example, it says that we want to compare measures, and it says that the number line below shows the relationship between days and weeks. It says use a color pencil to shade 1 week on the number line. So I notice on the top of this number line, it represents weeks, and on the bottom, it represents days. So this number line shows that we go from 0 to 1 week, but that if you look at the days, it takes 7 days to make 1 week. So I'm going to shade in all those days. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. 7 days to make 1 week. Okay, so if that was the situation, so when we compare the size of 1 week to a day, we could say that there are 7 days in 1 week. So 1 week has to be 7 times as long as 1 day. 7 times as long as 1 day. Okay, now let's practice this a little bit on the share and show. This time it says compare the length of a year to the length of a month. Use a model to help. So I notice that on the top it represents the years, and on the bottom of our number line it represents months. So on the top I notice that it goes to 1 year. And in that 1 year it's equivalent to being 12 months. So we could say that 1 year is 12 times as long as 1 month. So this whole year is 12 times as long as just 1 month. Okay, so now using this units of time chart over here, we want to use this to help us answer these questions. So in this question, we want to find out how many seconds would be in 2 minutes. So first I need to find out how many seconds would be in 1 minute. So I know that in 1 minute, there's 60 seconds. Okay, in 1 minute, there's 60 seconds. Okay, so in 2 minutes, that must be another 60 seconds. And another 60 seconds would be 60 plus 60, which equals 120 seconds. 120 seconds. Since we're going from a larger unit of time to a smaller unit of time, we have learned in class how we multiply to make that conversion. So if we know that there's 60 seconds in a minute and we have 2 minutes, that would be taking 60 and multiplying it by 2, which would give us 120 seconds. Okay, in 4 years, if we want to convert that to months, we need to find out how many months would be in 1 year. So notice over here it says in 1 year, there's 12 months. And since, again, we're converting from a larger unit of time to a smaller unit of time, we would multiply. So there's 12 months in a year. And in 4 years, that would equal 48 months. Okay. All right, so now we're going to compare using the greater than, less than, or equal than sign. So we're going to compare 3 years to 35 months. So since these are years and these are months, we can't really compare them until they're both the same unit of measurement. So what I'm going to do is I want to take these years and turn them or convert them into months and then make my comparison. So I need to look at years and months. And again, when I go over here, I notice that in 1 year, there's 12 months. So if I have 3 years, that means there's 12 months in a year. And I would multiply that by the 3 years. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. So that means this 3 years is the same as having 36 months. Because I was taking my years, which is a larger measurement, and turning it into months, which is a smaller measurement, which means we multiply. So 36 months, boys and girls, would be greater than 35 months. Okay, I'm going to do the same over here. I want to compare 2 days to 40 hours. They're different units of measurement, so I need to make them both the same. I know that I can take days and turn them into hours or convert them into hours, but I need to know how many hours are in a day. So I come to my chart and it says 1 day equals 24 hours. So since days is a larger unit of time than hours, our strategy that we've been learning in class is to multiply. So because there's 24 hours in 1 day, I would multiply that by 2 to find out how many hours would be in 2 days. So 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 days is the same as 48 hours. And 48 hours is greater than 40 hours. Okay? So this is just kind of starting units of time. So all you had to do today was just follow along, fill in your blanks, ask mom and dad any questions if there's something that you don't understand. And then tomorrow your homework will actually have you completing some problems on your own. So good luck and tune in tomorrow. Bye.